to talk about George Kittle instead. He went on Bussin' with the Boys. He does that fairly frequently. It was a 3-hour podcast, which we listen to and watch because we love George Kittle and the 49ers. And he said so many interesting things. He said some interesting things sprinkled in the 3 hours. One of them was unprompted. He brought up Isaiah Neyor, the undrafted free agent, and just kind of like went off on him. He's like, he's a freak. He's huge. We were watching his clips over and over and over again in the tight end room because he could cover nine and a half yards in 2 strides. And he didn't exactly know his name. He was like 14. 14 is a freak, and he's definitely going to make the practice squad. My question to you, that's according to Kittle. My question to you is, do you think there's a chance he makes a 53 like this year?
First of all, Kittle was pretending. I guess it's not cool to know the undrafted guys' names.
College, or also it's like a Big Ten thing, right?
Yeah, he definitely knew his name, and he definitely was pretending not to know his name because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't know his name. It begins with an N. It's like, what? So he knew his name. He was just trying to play cool guy. But I do find it interesting. I don't think he'll make the roster, unless there's maybe an injury or two. But, you're not going to have Demarcus Robinson. You're not going to have Debo. You don't have Ayuk until, to start the year. So you got 3, so who do you have? And you're probably going to have, I would say, 5 receivers minimum, maybe 6. So there will be an opportunity there if Neyor plays really, really well. And he does have all these freaky traits, right? He's 6'4", he runs 4.4 flat, he's got 36-inch arms, 40-inch vertical. He's got, several of the traits that you would be like, wow, and he's got them all. So, but he's very raw. He body catches still kind of like a high school receiver would. And so I will say, unless they coach him up amazingly, he's headed towards the practice squad.
PrizePicks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. I agree. I do think, let's say this. I do think it's significant that he's on the radar of the veterans, the guys who really, because I kind of look at the Niners as a bit of an oligarchy. Like there's Kyle and John and Saleh, but there's like 7 or 8, 5 or 6 veterans who have some sort of a say in the direction of the team. And I think Kittle's definitely one of them. So if he's impressed, that means probably Juszczyk's impressed and other people as well. So that's a good start. I would just say that, we've seen him as well. And while he's very physically impressive, he is big, he is fast. That translates. I think we also see why the production hasn't exactly translated yet for him. I mean, he hasn't been lighting it up on the practice field the way, Jacob Cowing or Jordan Watkins have been. It seems like he's a big time project. He's not necessarily a slick route runner. And if he is going to make the team, his quickest route to the 53-man roster might be special teams as like a gunner if, say, Junior Bergen doesn't make it as a returner.
I mean, they call these positions skill positions for a reason. This guy, it's like the same reason that I can't tell you a running back's great just because he's a certain height, certain weight, certain speed. It's the same thing about receiver. I can't tell you a receiver's great just because he's a certain height, certain weight, certain arm length, certain speed. It's a skill position, and it's a skill. And I think this kid's got potential, and the physical traits are off the charts. But that's all it is. It's just potential. And it's really going to come down to, it's not the biggest, fastest running back or the biggest, fastest receiver. It's the guy who's the best. And slow backs sometimes are better than fast backs, and slower receivers are sometimes better than guys. I mean, Jerry Rice was way, way better than James Jett. James Jett was way, way faster than Jerry Rice. So, these things matter, and speed's nice. I'd rather have guy with traits than no traits. But I would say Isaiah Neyor's a huge long shot. And I even, I did a video today where I was talking about how the Niners, should look at Malachi Corley because, there was an article written by Rich Cimini in ESPN on the Jets saying that Robert Saleh sent a note to Joe Douglas during the draft saying Malachi Corley no matter what. Like they were, and it was kind of a joke run on the. I think it was a run on the draft day Sonny Weaver, Vontae Mack, no matter what line from that movie. But still, it just kind of illustrates that they really liked Malachi Corley, and now they're not there anymore. And the Jets are looking at a depth chart where Corley's sitting like 7th or 8th, and there's a very good chance he gets cut. And has a lot of the similar traits that Debo has. So I would say maybe it won't be a big name receiver, but I could see a Malachi Corley at the cut down, either coming to the Niners after he gets cut, or if they see he's going to be cut and they offer a day 3 pick for him.
Well, remember, Ayuk's going to probably start the season on the PUP list.
Right.
Demarcus Robinson probably start the season suspended. That's 2 wide receivers. So
could be an injury. Might be an injury.
Yeah, so they'll have Pearsall, Jennings, Watkins, Cowing. That's 4 wide receivers week 1. Junior Bergen, if he makes the team, I mean, there's definitely an opportunity for Isaiah Neyor to be on the 53-man roster week 1.
Oh, Grant, if Isaiah Neyor looks in training camp, if he, the brief glimpses of greatness that he showed in minicamp, if he shows that with any consistency at all this summer, he's going to make the team. I just don't. I'm kind of questioning whether he's going to have the ability to show that, but who knows? Who knows? Sometimes you get with the right.
He's going to need to be great on special teams. He's going to need to make a few plays in camp and maybe in preseason too, and we haven't seen that yet.
But he is coming off of his best collegiate season at Nebraska. He kind of put things together at Nebraska, so maybe he can keep that momentum going. I mean, it's gonna be. I'll say this: if you buy tickets to go to training camp, you're gonna find this kid easily because he has a Randy Moss type build. He's wearing number 14, and you're gonna see some movement and jumping ability and some length and speed that you haven't seen in a long time. So he's going to be impressive looking. It's just a matter of exactly how refined and ready is he to contribute.
And I think it's pretty clear, like the Niners, the way they're constructed on offense, their top 3 targets in the passing game, Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, they're more short, intermediate targets. And so if defenses are going to spend all their attention on those 3 guys to take them away, it'd be nice to have some really explosive 4th or 5th options who could beat you for a touchdown from anywhere on the field if you lose track of them. And I think that's Watkins, that's Cowing, that's Neyor. And he's the one with the size. He's not going to be a starting wide receiver on this team, but if he could be a really explosive 5th option, that's, I think, what the Niners are looking for anyway. So he's got a chance. It's him against a guy who's 5'8". They're both explosive, but this guy's got a leg up.
He reminds me a little bit of a younger version of Chris Conley, who just retired, right? And why did Chris Conley get a spot on the Niner rosters? Because he was an absolute menace as a gunner on special teams. And if Neyor, with that size and that speed, can be a factor on special teams, that could get him on the roster.